Hello everyone, my name is Maria and I am a member of the community management team in Revuto, and I'm standing here today to talk a little bit about the staking, APR, APY, rule of 72, inflation and deflation. Why I believe these are very important topics? Because we all living in a monetary world, and it is extremely important to understand how the things work and what is the difference between staking and non-staking asset, and what does it mean to stake an inflationary asset, to stake deflationary asset, and what is a combination among these two. Okay, so what is staking? Staking is a process when someone gives a percentage or the certain amount of their funds into a staking node to provide some form of liquidity. So we have blockchains that actually operate on the proof of stake consensus, or the POS, and Cardano is one of those blockchains. So what does it mean? So anyone who has a minimum amount required can delegate their funds to create a staking node. And that staking node is actually used to confirm transactions that are sent on the blockchain. So that is similar to a proof of work consensus, but here instead of miners and breaking and solving mathematical algorithms, we are using funds that are staked. So what is APR? APR stands for annual percentage rate, and that is a number that can help us determine how much return on investment we will have after a period of 1 year. What is APY? APY actually stands for annual percentage yield, and that is also a number that can help us to determine how much we will gain return on investment after 1 year. But what is the difference between those two? APR is actually linear, so it is easily predictable and it is defined before a stake is confirmed. So I will also draw a chart. So we have 2 dimensions. One is the amount of funds we have designated into a staking pool, and the another one dimension is actually time. So here we have time, and here is the amount of money, so or the funds. Okay, so with APR we have linear growth. And what happens with the APY? APY is actually a compounding. So APY is taking compounded results into the calculation. So what does that line or curve looks on the chart? These 2 lines or curves are actually met after 1 year time if the APY and APR are exactly the same. But if they are not the same, then it is better to have an APR than the APY. So how does the APY line looks like? So it will start like this slowly and then grow until it collides with the APR. And if we, after that period, or in this case 1 year, so because it is annualized percentage rate or annual percentage yield, it will also repel and go like this, and then again collide after 1 year. And that will repeat all the time. So if you are staking your funds or resources for a period like 90 days, then it is better for you to stake in the APR pool, because if the percentage is the same, then it is a lot better for a user to have a pool that is calculated based on APR, because he will gain more during those shorter periods of time. So what is the rule of 72? The rule of 72 is actually a mathematical equation that can help us determine how much return on investment we can expect during our investment schedule plan or over a period of time. Here is how it looks like. So if we have, let's say, 10% return on investment over a period of 1 year, then we divide 72 by that number. Let's say it is at 10% because 10% is the average stock market gain. So it actually takes us about 7.2 years to double our investment. So what is the use of this number in crypto community or crypto asset investments? We can use this equation, but we have to change some parameters. So we have to change this percentage because we don't have year time, but we have different periods. So we have RPP, or return per period. So if, let's say, one period is 10 days, we can use also number 72 and divide that by the percentage we will get after that 10 days. So if it is like, let's say, 1%, so 72 times y equals 72. It's very simple, but just wanted to put it on the paper. So it will actually take us 72 cycles to double our investment. So what does it mean? 72 times 10 equals 720 days. So it will take 720 days to double our investment. And that is pretty much universal and can be applied in every type of market. So, and the next term we are going to describe is inflation. So what is inflation? Inflation is what market and media and everyone else usually describe as a time when money loses value and prices and everything else skyrockets. What does it mean? What are the causes for that? Reasons for that are sometimes the increased number of units of a certain currency like United States dollars or Croatian kuna or anything else. So the more dollars you have in circulation, the lower the value of that dollar will be. So we have two indexes that will help us determine they are helping our governments to determine what the inflation rate was. And these are the consumer price index and wholesale price index. So are they real indicators of the inflation? Well, they are not. They are using these numbers to describe something, but the actual rate of inflation is a bit harder than that. So let's draw again the diagrams. I will turn this sheet to have an empty one. So this is the column that represents the current amount of, let's say, United States dollars. So this is all dollars. And if after the period of 1 year we have inflation of, for example, 10% by the wholesale index, it will be like until here. So this is the inflation that is defined by the wholesale index. But to be honest, there is more dollars in circulation than this, so actual inflation rate is a little bit higher than that. So it is something like this. What does it look like on the chart? So we also can draw a chart that goes like this. And as this happens, so we have the actual inflation rate. I mean, this is defined by the number of the units of the currency that is circulating on the market. And then these indexes, first it increases a little bit lower, and then we have inflationary stage of the crisis, and after that we have that inflation goes higher and lower. So when it goes below, then it is a deflationary stage of the crisis, and when it goes from below to the upper side, it is inflationary part or stage of the crisis. So what is deflation? Well, deflation is the actually opposite of inflation. So we will actually draw another column that will look a little bit different, but let's say like this. So, and let's say this is today the amount of a deflationary asset we have on the market. If the asset is deflationary, it means after 1 year of time, or 10 years or whatever, the amount of those assets or currency or anything else will be lower by a certain percentage. So what does it mean? This means that the scarcity of this asset has increased on the market. And the more amount of this asset is reduced, higher the value of that asset is. And what does it mean for us in crypto? So there are cryptocurrencies that are inflationary, and we can say that they are like Polkadot. They have like 10% inflation per year. There is Cardano that also has about 5% per year. Phantom has inflation. Solana has started with 8% inflation per year. That is reducing by 15% every year until it reaches the point of around 5% that will be kept for maybe even forever, who knows. And we can say that these cryptocurrencies I have mentioned here are represented by this column. Where is our Revuto token, or our Revuto token? So Revuto token has fixed supply, or the fixed total supply. So the total supply of Revu is 280,125,000, and this amount will not be changed. But is that exactly true? We all know that when someone loses his recovery phase or something like that, there is no way to help that person recover his or her fund. So even the total amount of Revu is not going to change. There will be a decreased number of Revu that are practically circulating on the market. So I personally believe that it is this column that is representing our Revu token. And also one important thing is that when you are staking Revu token for, let's say, 10% APR, first thing is what you benefit is that even though it is, like say, 90 days, you will earn more than it was the APY over that time frame. And also, if you compare it with some other inflationary assets, then with every reward that you have earned with the Revu token staking, you will increase the percentage of market you hold. So let's say if you were owning like this much of Revu and you earn a little bit of APR, it will be then a bit higher, and after another year a little bit higher, and that's that. But if you're staking, let's say, inflationary token, the first example that crosses my mind is staking Polkadot. So Polkadot has a 10% inflation rate, and if you stake it on some centralized services, you get like 8 or 9% APR. So what does it actually mean? After 1 year of period, you will actually own 1% of the market less than you were owning before that staking event that you have made. So I would like to conclude this tech talk with the statement we have made during our announcement topic, which was stake for your sake. Because even staking for the lower percentage than the inflation rate is, it is still better than not staking at all, because you will still have a little bit higher percentage of the market in your ownership than you would have if you didn't stake. But it is always important to have in mind that staking and earning rewards on the non-inflationary or deflationary assets are always better than staking for the same percentage or even lower, something that is an inflationary asset. Thank you very much.
If you like Revuto and think our videos are cool and informative, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss out on any of our new videos. Thank you.